their time frame for meeting, which would have been tonight at 7. So I'd like to get out of here before 8. We're gonna have, actually, we closed the public part of the meeting last year, and I was going through the minutes, and the word part Cheryl's just missing. And then if we can have that for next week, and we'll reapprove that. And we'll see that as a meeting as part of the approval process. Dave, thanks for coming tonight. This has been quite the ordeal, both for us and for the applicant. We started this in April, okay, and I think it was as a result of you being tasked to go over there because it was above the other 3 dogs. That's correct.
Yeah, the original plan was darking dogs, and then they also included the dog and buffalo.
Okay. Through the history of this, originally we just thought this was a typical oversight. Sometimes things happen. As a result of tonight's meeting, no matter what, those dogs need to be licensed, even though it's above and beyond what we request people to have only 3. I'd like proof of licensing and shots and stuff so that Ag and Markets, okay, is okay with that. Makes your job a little bit easier also. And they'll be part of any approval or disapproval tonight. So what happens when we table a meeting like that, close a public hearing, is mostly because we received a lot of information as a result of the original application. It wasn't just so easy that we were going to have something. It's not that it didn't sound right, but you know, we had a 4th dog, and we're going to do some breeding. Friends like to hunt. They were a good type of breed to hunt with, and then come to find out, due to some who were adjacent property owners or people that felt they'd been affected or were going to get affected, came forth with some information, and a lot of it is discouraging. Okay, but it came. We went back into it and we talked about having a public hearing because we don't want so much distraction and this thing's here, this thing's there. One night you got to work, you have an important job. Wife has an important job, and she showed up and everything, and I didn't think it was fair when the original application for me that you'd be present on this one. Okay. So we look back, and there have been other complaints at other times over the course of the years that can or cannot just be related to dog barking. Okay. It's been brought to light by Mr. Peters. He stood up last meeting and did a nice thing. Talked about breeding, okay, also about neighborhood stuff. There was nobody's, the way they do business or anything else, nobody was dragged through the mud. Everybody was complimentary in nature, but we were looking at town presidency as we have a zoning code. That's why we have a zoning code. Okay, 3 are 2 dogs. So that being said, it seemed to be popping up all the way. So we had a public hearing, and we got more information. There was multiple times that the dog wasn't going to go there and everything. And the reason why you're here, Dave, is just verification of what you were seeing, what was on the report, so we have a copy. Doesn't make you a bad person. You could be victimized just by having those neighbors if that would be the case. I don't know. I guess I don't.
Right, and I guess, sorry to interrupt you, but I've been with Sarah for 5 years. I can tell you, in the 5 years that we've been together, I've talked to Dave once, talking about dogs. There was a dog that she had previously that has since passed away, and I know there was some issue with the German Shepherd.
Like I said, a lot of this stuff is third hand.
Yeah.
And there's been other visits there. It might have been by other dog patrol. I don't know.
I I had a situation where a dog was running across the street to Dad's house, which I talked to her one time and it's not, she didn't have.
Right, I mean,
So it wasn't a big deal to me.
yeah, we try to like, if
Yes.
there's a concern that gets brought to us, like our neighbor would come up and tell us, we'll just take care of it, like it doesn't need to get the dog word, but I know that people may not be comfortable, so they call them assets that are available. They come and we usually immediately comply, you know?
That was one of the reasons why I moved out of the subdivision when I was.
The first chance I get to.
Place in there was in subdivision. I was the first house in the house. But,
Can I add one more thing? As far as the barking complaint, this is more than just dogs barking. I think there's a neighbor dispute because he has also called me on the neighbor behind him who called on him for the same dogs barking. They go to the back fence, they both let their dogs out, they both bark. So nobody's more equal than the other because they both do it. And he actually called me up, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He didn't actually file it though, which we still gotta get that
No,
filed.
I chose.
Yeah, we're gonna hold this to brief because I wanna go through.
Right, like I just, what I want to, I guess, say about that, right, and I brought it up before. Yeah, it is pretty much a neighbor dispute. I don't have the desire, the time or anything to try to waste time on calling dog rules and police and stuff like. If I hear the dogs bark, I immediately run out. Guys come in, they come in. I videoed it last week and I finally called Dave because I said, you know what? This guy's gonna continuously call on me every time these dogs bark and he refuses to let his dogs in. I'm gonna return the favor. It's petty, I know. I don't like doing it. I hate when I get those calls at work for this simple stuff that beavers can just handle. However, you know what? Because he does it, it goes on paper, and now when I come to these meetings, it looks like it's for the people. When these dogs bark, immediately, I will call them and they will sign, because I don't want to bother them. I videoed him last week, or when I told you 2 weeks ago. I'm in the backyard. The dogs run off the deck because he let the dogs out, come to the backyard. And he just stood there, just let him out. No. I was like, oh, let's see how long this goes. So I took my phone out and I recorded it for a second. And he's just walking around staring at him, letting it happen. I'm off here. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, guys, come on. Dogs, as soon as I say it, my dogs run, they come to my back door. I let them in the cage, I put it away. I don't know what more I can do, you know. Other than that, that's the only problem that we have with dogs. And it's a neighbor dispute. It's not a, and I don't think it's an ongoing problem. You call the cops on me, you know. We're sitting in our garage, cleaning our garage. I was out for 3 hours. I mean, I stripped the garage down to nothing. You saw my garage, it's a lot of stuff. So we're cleaning it. Everything's fine. He must let his dogs out, mine are in the backyard. I heard him bark, I brought him in. When the cops came, 2 of them were just laying in the garage with us while we were cleaning. So, deputy walked up. Said, hey, how are you? He said, "I want to call you something." And, he said, yeah. I said, they started barking at me. And that was that.
So is this in any type of litigation right now?
No.
Between the two homeowners, wasn't going to be?
Well, I've asked both of them to do it. I asked both of them to put it in the court so the judge can, review this case. But both of them wanted a verbal complaint given. So there's never a court date given to either party.
What is that?
Just the verbal, when I come to you and I told you the
Yeah,
dog's barking,
yeah.
you do the warning.
Right.
The guy got the same warning.
I don't think there's any need to go.
That's what they both said.
Desire to go to court
No,
whatsoever.
but that's one of the things that happen when you look at these things. It's a little bit different than what you're used to.
Right.
But you do have to have a summary of what happens before you can make a decision. That affects all the people.
Mhm.
Okay. That's another reason why you're here. Now, for having 4 dogs, 1 over,
Mhm.
okay, if you had to go to court just for that, there is a fine that can be.
There could be a fine and they actually have them remove 1 dog from the premises.
If we come to an agreement tonight about something, and because it's taken so long, I'd like that to be, can be considered if it can be.
Well, we'd have to.
Okay,
We'd have to issue a appearance to immediately for over a dog limit, and let the courts handle it.
I don't want to step on your toes.
No, that's the way we handle it.
Okay,
We've been kind of waiting, so I've talked to him and I told him, this is pending on your decision. If this comes down where you can't have it for, you have to issue the appearance ticket, and the courts have to handle it as far as removing the dog or what have you.
I'll gift it to my brother that lives across the street.
if you would, we're gonna finish the process. We're gonna go through the rest of the staff. Okay. Pete, possibility that everybody votes on it, yes or no, of having a contingency special use permit that is time sensitive.
Okay.
Okay. If there is things that you feel need to be added to items to be part of that permitting process so that we can have some regulation enforcement, as both Eric brought up at the last meeting and another town board member brought it up also, a zoning member, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And so did Dave too. If you think something needs to be added, feel free to get a shot what we're doing. You give some advice and see if we can get it directly for that. Whatever required, so we might get to do it. That's the one meeting you asked for, what's the goal? All right. Now that we have some completeness to the application, then we can also that, then we can go further. So, for the two people that are heard on the staff right now, any issues with that process right now?
I think where you're at is that you have to make the determination that the proposed use is similar to a permitted home occupation. That would require a special use permit if you make that finding.
We already made that finding, that was voted on.
And then if you're going to make that finding, you have to be specific as to what it is you found. What's the scope of the use? Which to me would, I would think at least you have to set a maximum number of dogs. And then beyond that, what you do with any other special use permit, like hours of operation, whatever other conditions you do.
There is another residential or two other residential issues in the town. Dogs having more than one, either on a breeding function or kennel function. You know, although kennel has 15, 20 ways you can describe it. Okay, it can be a single dog house, it's a kennel. Okay.
Our code actually specifies 6 dogs as the threshold for
For
kennel.
that type of kennel.
I wouldn't use the word kennel, I would say dog breeding, home occupation, dogs not to exceed the length. I put a drop dead date on the permit. You know, this permit will expire July, 27 of 2027, 1 year, or whatever it is you want to do.
Okay, we're gonna start working on it. Cheryl, the other addresses that have very similar things in town, can we add that, as part of our findings? Okay, when we make a finding, because I think we'll reiterate that right now. Meeting, but
I looked at the other ones.
yes, you were.
I thought we had finished it too, but.
So this is gonna be a little like a workshop. Steve, do you want to talk about a finding if it's next?
Well, we did decide, and the board voted that it was similar to baby zone. That was done in a meeting, that it was voted on, and then it was approved.
Do you remember which one of those meetings?
That was the first meeting.
April's meeting. Yes.
It was the first meeting.
I have a copy of April's meeting right here. Did you underline that? And I know it's already part of the record, and then you can hand that to, here.
Well, the underlying of the glasses and
Peter. Who says we don't have a little bit of fun in this meeting? I don't want to make this where everybody starts crying.
This isn't the right minutes.
May.
You know, when's in May?
Huh?
Here. I had to find all these in the back seat of my office. It's out there.
These aren't the minutes, so it's just the agenda.
Sorry.
Chris, it's just the agenda, not the minutes. I mean, it was done, Chris. It was.
Yeah, we did talk about it like that.
Yeah, I made the motion and it was voted on and approved. And it's similar to babysitting nature. A couple of things I want to say since you directed at me. There's a couple of issues that have happened over time. First off, the one was in 2021. That has no bearing on what we're dealing with today. There was a different dog, that dog is gone, what happened that day could happen with one dog, could happen with 20. So that shouldn't be on the table as far as affecting this application. It was 5 years ago and that dog is now gone. They don't have the same style of dog in the house anymore. As far as the barking thing goes, that also can happen with 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a house across the street where the dog barks for hours on end. I don't call. What I'd like.
Yes, you have. Good copy.
Wait a minute
My
here.
choice, that dog would be gone because it comes out. Sorry.
I'll have my glasses.
You know, I mean, that dog barks 24/7. If that thing ever got off the chain, it would kill you. It's, you know, so
Those are just items that for the people that might live in the tract for a long period of only knowledge that in this location or in this part of the neighborhood, you'll have some dissension based on stuff. These are people that might have been from the country and didn't experience what those of us that live in some of it. That's all it is, and it's an example. It's not bearing, the condition that we're talking about is still there.
Yeah.
And it has to be handled. I would request that
the neighbor dispute, I mean, I had one behind me by the campfire, BJ shows up at my house.
that's one of the things I don't want to get into too much about the neighbors dispute, but it's about information and the experience that Dave had since he's been on board.
Can I add one thing to it?
I could have done this last month.
Take your time here. Only one concern I have was, right, this puppies part. If you get 4 puppies, 5 puppies, it's gonna be a lot different barking than you have 4 adult dogs. So there had to be some kind of restriction on that, when them puppies are allowed outside at times. You know, that's the only thing I would be worried about, because puppies don't know how to shut up. And they don't know, come inside, you have to be there, you
All
know?
right.
That's the only concern I have with the whole situation.
And we're not just gonna let them.
No.
All right.
I hate barking.
Dave, on the minutes.
Well, it's
You
just,
had
it's
concerns about
setting a precedent.
Yeah.
It's tough having a business like this in a residential neighborhood. It just, I know it, you like to do it with the dogs and, probably doing a good thing, but boy, when you got neighbors so close to you, it'd be different if you're out in the country. It's just a common occurrence. You just expect, to hear a dog barking. But when people are next door that close, sometimes it can be irritating. And, I don't know what else you could do to keep the dogs from barking. You don't want to put a muzzle on them, do you?
No, I mean, sir, I also have, I even bought training collars. Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you live next to me, my dogs are not the problem. I'm telling you, as soon as dogs bark, I don't care if you, like you said, 1 or 20. I mean, if all 5 of you or 6 of you had dogs, they all bark, right? Dogs bark, that's what they do. But I control it, right? As soon as I hear it, I do the responsible thing and I stop it and I bring them up, right? Because I don't want to. If I could, I mean, honestly, I would love a house in the country and not have a single neighbor. Ideally, it'd be great. I just can't afford it right now. But I don't want any problems with neighbors. My next door neighbor, if I don't mow his lawn, it'll be 4 foot tall and you guys will have a notice on his front door. I try to keep the neighborhood good, like our little part of the block. Every time I mow my lawn every week, I mow his lawn because he just doesn't do it. And he's a nice guy, but you know, whatever. So I'm not there to be a sore or a problem for the neighbor. Like I try to take care of it. I mean, I've always been that way. I grew up in Hamlin. I mean, I volunteered in Hamlin for many years. I've always been about it, you know, and I'm not here to be a problem for anyone. So, like I said, I understand the barking concern, but I'm telling you, if I hear my dog bark, I take care of it for him. My kids do when I'm not home. My wife does the same thing. I mean, we're on
You've been doing this now for a number of years,
doing well.
breeding the dogs?
We had two, before we had overly limited dogs, which again, I had no clue that there were three. I just never knew. We had two Australian Shepherds and we did two breeds. You know, went great. Never a complaint. People came, appointment only, we're done. We're done breeding. I'm not like in a mass breed.
So you've been
dogs.
doing this for what, 3-4 years?
4 years now.
Are you registered with the state?
Here's a
No, because you have to have over a certain
Yeah,
amount of
certain
stuff.
amount.
Yeah, and I don't have that. I think it was like 6 or
And
something.
it's legal.
You know,
That, because
So I
if
did it
you
in both.
handle them up to the
Yeah,
next
it's- it needs
month,
some-
I believe it's rules. So the real issue is here is the fourth dog.
but again, my goal is not to be a problem for the neighborhood. I grew up in it. I lived in Highview. I was born and came to that Highview house. So I've been in that neighborhood probably longer than most people that are there. And like I said, I don't know what more I can stress with saying, you know. Hopefully, they're positive of us, you know, we're not trying to do that, you know. But I get rid of.
No, I just, I kind of stumbled over the fact that the 3 dog is a 4 dog. And I'm thinking people in your neighborhood have got a bigger problem than one next to them. Probably can even bring the lines and make it, that's something that as neighbors, you gotta, maybe grow once in a while. The guy gets stuck in, you know, I'll push him out or something, you gotta do something to be the forward guy, to see how it's working. Because we're talking a single dog, this is a problem.
I tried to actually talk to this neighbor. We actually work in the same city. He works in a different department. I see him at the fleet center, came up to him, very nice. Short of getting a middle finger and him walking away, that's how it. He's out there flipping off my 12-year-old daughter the last time she brought the dog to me because barking. She went out immediately and he stood on the back deck, just giving her the middle fingers. Like, that's crazy. I don't know about you, but if another man did that to my daughter, I'm sure someone, this is just the kind of person. So I've extended, I've tried, but I can't get it.
Really sounds like we can do the best that we can possibly do, or it's not gonna fix the problem.
Right, it's the same thing I tell people, right? We go to a neighbor complaint, it's, you guys gotta live next to each other, I don't need to live next to you, so you guys gotta figure out how to make it work. I tried that, but again, it takes 2 people.
Making your little fourth dog is still gonna have the same exact problem.
Right, the 3 are gonna bark.
We're not gonna puppies. Not gonna puppies. They said that's from my.
Right.
I
But puppies are legal. The
I
puppies
know,
are
but if you
legal.
get 4 or 5 puppies barking, that's not what they're barking, that's the only issue I have. Because puppies are different than adult dogs, they're gonna go out there just gonna bark. So there'd be some kind of control on that, which you said you control.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna walk out there with them.
Yeah,
but
that's the
we'll pass
only
them
issue
around,
I
not
have, is
gonna-
them, you're not just talking 4 dogs, you're talking, it goes to 10 dogs now, because you may have 6 puppies.
Those are puppy dogs.
Yeah, but they're still
They're
burglars, they're still burglars.
But they're legal.
They're legal, but they're burglars.
But even if you
And
only
it's gonna
have
be-
3 dogs, they would still be.
Yeah, you're still gonna have the same issues with in court for barking.
The
If he,
whole bit for the 3
It's one
dogs,
person.
okay, was put kind of thing, because usually when there is a 3rd dog, there is a certain amount of breeding that might go on. Okay. Most breeders of a type of animal go outside with either their man dog or their woman dog. And they get them together and they throw water on them when they're done. Okay,
Good way
you
to
know,
put it.
I had a Chesapeake that was $1,000 for stud service.
Yeah.
Okay. And, but that's where that came from, the extra dog. And someone says, my God, we like what this breed, you know, it is, okay, and, those type of things. So, let's get on with it.
I wish I had something to add to the discussion tonight.
Okay. So based on what our attorney said, this is going to be is results of the finding of May 4th meeting. Okay. And we get a finding about another like use in the town of Camden. Okay. For number 8 of Plain Drive, this is going to be for. The fourth dog at this time is, will be one of the ways to enforce the third dog thing is it's gonna be time sensitive for the first dog that passes on. Okay. If this reads right. This is gonna be a conditional special permit. These are conditions that Cheryl and I coming up with. If time sensitive, I don't know what the ages of the dogs are, but we probably should list types, ages of the dogs that we have right now, which will come from the licensing records, right, Dave?
Oh, they need to be places, you know, you got 2 of us on my team, 3.
Three, all three.
Oh.
And the sixth is to get her rabies shots on your license, because she's still a puppy, but she's like 3 of them.
So how, what age is it?
Weeks. I'm sorry, should be,
Just this.
I think Sadie's like 6, 5 or 6. Probably like,
Whatever, that
Yeah, so you're talking
information,
Yeah.
commissioner, so,
that information will need to be made
Yeah.
available to Cheryl and kept in your record.
so once you're saying, once one of them passes, you cannot replace that dog.
Not
Well,
replace
here.
the dog.
Okay.
It's
And
not-
I'm
That's fair.
completely fine with that,
That's fair,
because
yeah.
my goal when we got 4 was to breed, and I didn't know about the third dog rule. After this dog passed, I will not hit 4 dogs.
Sometime
So, I'm never doing this again.
Okay, sometime in the future, the town will be renewing its code and stuff, and they can revisit it at this time, but I'm gonna be concurrent with the code.
This-
So this is kind of a, and parking collars should be issued to a couple of your pups once they get used to talking to each other. And they work. I've got a 6-year-old golden retriever that still works at a parking collar. Okay.
If I put it on my one dog, it's not even charged.
Yeah, right, they just look.
You don't
at it.
know it's on.
They just look at it, okay. So we got licensing for parking collars. The fact that you back up to somebody with the dogs run out, the 2 dogs say hi to each other and then continually does it back. It's a chain link fence.
So we have a chain link fence. He also has a chain link fence, but he put in like an 8-foot like corner with like, wood or pick, I don't know. what kind of fence it is.
Is there wood to put slats in there?
So what I'm gonna do when I talk to Cheryl is we have a shed, if you're looking out of my back towards the backyard neighbor.
I looked at the area.
So I have a shed in the right corner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move that shed to the left corner, and I'm actually gonna put a fence behind it and on the side of it, so the dogs can't get to that corner. So I'm hoping that just takes care of it. Also, since, I don't know if you talked to him, but since I called you, there isn't one issue.
No, I.
So it might just be a timing, I don't know, but I noticed that he also put stuff in his corner. So maybe that's why, but that's another plan of mine. I'm gonna move the whole structure to try to make this better.
You get the little pieces of aluminum balloon too. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
Oh, they kind of like.
You look at the dog shelter, I got
Okay.
them all around, and the dogs can't see through it,
Okay,
so there's a cheaper option.
okay.
So those are all points of consideration for this type of permit. This permit's gonna expire at the end of the year, okay, this year, okay? And depending on how things go and what gets done and everything else like that, whether it's gonna be renewed, okay, and will be looked at, twice a year.
So this is current on good for 4 months and we gotta read it twice a year.
But that make things allowable for them, ag and markets for the town,
Okay,
all right? Gotta have some performance,
great.
okay? And I feel that if you being the right person that you are, and now that we have a better hold on these things and we don't wanna step on other people's toes, this is the way to do it. So 4 months, you got 6 months for the puppies, okay? So, you know, the first visit can either be before, or you can do it on the 4 month, the end of the year, whatever you and Dave work out is fine with us.
I know, usually when, especially when it's issued, no inspections are completed until the year is up.
Okay.
I'm gonna suggest this, just for you guys to think about it. I think a renewal should stay with one year. Inspection,
That's what I was saying.
Okay,
yeah, because you're not.
We've done that.
yeah,
Yeah, we're not here to charge you.
yeah, and again, I just twice a year. And we're not gonna have puppies probably for 8 to 10 months, so.
So how many pups were in the, you had a litter, right?
Those are our Australian Shepherds, they're minis, they were like, we had one litter, we had 6, and 1 had 5, but we're done bringing those. We just did 2, and then like wanted to try it out. And went well.
So anything else we should add, Pete, or Dave, you feel that's fair, and equitable, or is it?
Just want to make sure we have the numbers of dogs laid out. And it's temporary as to the number we have before.
Right. That's what you have written down. Do we have to make a secret on this?
Type 2, yes.
I would, prior to going to the whole thing, I would like someone just to.
To make a motion for the application of Sarah Ritchie, 8 Claim Drive to the type 2 under secret.
Second. We see what you.
Sharon
Okay.
Steigerwald.
Yeah.
Steve Law.
Yeah.
Dave Maynard. Oh, no.
Dave.
Sorry.
Wow. We're right up there.
Dave Martin. I'm so sorry.
There's a sign.
Rich Snyder.
Yes.
Steve Hickman.
Okay. So we make the final one, and that's. It was brought up by Sharon. Not sure. The name, phone number, and Bradley address of the applicants, we have all that on file, right? So we'll look at it. The size of the property, you have the size for that lot.
I don't know what the exact is, it's probably just under an acre, it's a big lot.
Okay, whatever it's on your instrument survey, you take calculated square feet. Whatever you want.
I didn't have that problem.
Yeah, you
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
Description of where the dogs will be kept, whether inside or outside or both. I think it's in the original application, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I typed up the thing answering all those questions.
The waste will be disposed of in the trash. The food will be kept in a tightly closed container so we don't have only rats. Yearly inspection is practically going to talk to that. Viewing the puppies by appointment only. So, you know, it's per day, but you might have to buy a couple of puppies.
Be great.
we don't wanna have a bunch of cars sitting, so we don't have no options.
Yeah, no,
Okay, they'll take care of that. Try to avoid cars in the road. And, at this, until the end of the year. Or is it 6 months? It's 6 months for the puppies.
Was it 6 or 4, Dave?
What does the ag market say? Puppies considered 6 or 8 months
I
old?
thought 6 months, the law.
4 months?
Yeah,
All
12
right,
weeks.
So we'll have to change those to 4 months. 8 weeks, that's right. That's what we usually sell.
12 weeks. They have to be under 12 weeks. 12 weeks.
Yeah, that'd be under.
Yeah.
Well, muscles would be considered a great company.
Yeah.
They're probably $2.
16. Yeah.
They go for months, they gotta be.
All right, can we get a final motion for approval of the conditional approval for having the dogs at number 8?
I'll make a motion for the application, Sarah Ritchie, 8 Plain Drive, for special use permit for home occupation for breeding dogs. There can be a maximum of 4 adult dogs. There will be no puppies that are cut past 4 months. In any event that any of the 4 adults no longer exist, there will no longer be 4 dogs allowed on the property. There will only be by appointment, 1 appointment. We have all the information, name, phone number, size of property, description. You'll move the shed to the corner to try your best to maintain a good neighborly situation. Cheryl will inspect every 6 months. The special use permit will renew with all other special use permits at the end of the year.
That's good. We have a second.
Second.
So you do it. Well, there's seconds.
Okay, Sharon Steigerwald,
Yeah.
Steve Rock,
Yeah.
Dave Martin, Chris Snyder,
Yep.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Steve Hittman.
We're good to go. Got 20 minutes left. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
I will be in touch with you. Okay?
Dave, I have to see you since we don't get there.
That's a busy week. We thank you very much. Oh, yeah.
That's not mine, I'm selling.
Oh,
And then I can use it. Well, I've heard from
Oh, man. You need wood, you've got to go hard to get
6 hours.
Well, there's the 6 hour
Yeah.
We don't have any.
Right.
anything. So you have an agreement with the town, there's nothing really decided.
Yeah, they're not.
It's all those people jumping.
Yeah. Yes.
I know.
It's like, yeah.
You know, and I told him, I said, look, years ago, the seniors got, and then it got too small. So they went somewhere else, and all they were leaving. Right, yeah, other places.
See you later.
Oh, yeah.
I got a nice grapple.
Oh, yeah.
I got everything I need.
Yeah.
See you.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.